Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of PEWTER.halfpints. I'm Jason, and I'm accompanied by my brother Dave.
Who's getting fat?
Yes, I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah, you look disgusting. Anyways, no, I'm just kidding. You look great. So this is a podcast dedicated to give you, the listeners, some more technical, home renovation application stuff. Typically, this podcast. No, I don't like that. I am Jason, and I'm accompanied again by my older brother Dave, or David. Dave? How now, brown cat? And on this Pewter Half Pint segment, what we wanted to do was give you guys, the listeners at home, more of a technical podcast, something to help the listeners at home pick stuff.
Do you need to drink your beer?
Yeah, I do. That's definitely the problem. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Pewter Half Pints. My name is Jason. This is my brother Dave.
Howdy.
We are drinking beer and we are talking construction.
So what are we going to break down today?
Today, I think we should be talking about flooring selections, more specifically hardwood.
Hardwood with quotations.
With quotations.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I threw out those quotations, because there are three different main levels of hardwood. So, Dave, why don't you explain to us those three levels?
So 3 types of hardwood flooring. You have your solid sawn, 100% solid piece of wood, hardwood. You have your engineered hardwood, and you have your laminate floor. And there's often some confusion between the laminate and the engineered. So we'll get into that later.
Yeah. Let's get into that in a bit. But first, let's get the main one out of the way. Real hardwood. Actual solid hardwood.
Yeah. So if we're only going to talk composition, so at least in this beginning section. So solid hardwood is just that. They take a tree, they cut it down, and then they send it through a machine to mill it, to get the tongue and the groove on it, polish the top, and then you can either have it pre-finished or it's an unfinished floor that gets installed and finished after installation.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure solid hardwood is the way of the dodo bird now.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, it's great, but the issue with it is there are limitations. Everybody, the trend right now is to have a wide plank.
Yeah.
And anything over the 4 1/4, like generally 5 inches and above in width, you're gonna want an engineered floor.
Why?
Because the solid hardwood is going to warp, right? It has a much higher propensity to twist on you. Yeah. So the bigger the piece of solid wood, the more likely it will twist.
And not only that, it'll shrink and expand. And the shrinking is what gets everybody. How many times do we get called back saying, my hardwood, there's spaces in between my hardwood, and it's the dead of winter. You installed it in the summer.
All the moisture left, and you got a smaller board now, and it'll juice back up in the summer. So
exactly,
it's just part of the natural product. Yeah. So as the humidity in your house goes up and down, that board becomes more susceptible to warping than some of the other unnatural products. But benefits of solid hardwood.
It's real.
It's real. You can sand it down. You don't have to worry about taking the top layer off and, hitting exposed plywood or something like that. So as long as you're okay with having a thinner board, and by that I mean width, there's nothing wrong with a natural floor. It's great. You can refinish it down the line. Even if you get a pre-finished floor, you can sand it down and, sand it in place afterwards.
Yeah, not a lot of people realize that. What are the benefits of having an engineered hardwood? Or scrap that. What is an engineered hardwood?
Okay. An engineered hardwood is a multi-layer assembly of wood products. Now,
so in layman's terms, that's plywood.
Well, the engineered portion of it is the fact that they have a layer of plywood laying in one direction, and then another layer of plywood on top of it in the opposite direction, and then they have the finish on top. So they'll have like a 1/4 inch of solid hardwood that's glued to the top of this assembly. And then they cut it into strips, and then they send it through the machines.
And why would someone want that? Why would you want an engineered?
So an engineered hardwood isn't going to cup,
Right.
right? It's not going to twist. It's not going to warp the same way because the plywood, you have so many different layers. Like the plywood itself is made up of different layers of wood, all glued together. Mm-hmm. And so all these different layers, assembled in different directions, resist expansion and contraction. So naturally, you're not going to get the cupping. You're not going to get the warping. And if you have a higher quality engineered hardwood floor, it's going to resist the moisture expansion and contraction as well. You'll have a higher humidity range on a premium engineered hardwood.
Okay, so that covers engineered flooring. I think that was pretty specific as to what an engineered floor is. But there's lots of confusion as to what a laminate floor is versus an engineered floor. A lot of people think it's the same.
Yeah, which is funny because a laminate is not the same at all. So a laminate,
what is a laminate?
So it's mainly paper, right? It's smushed up wood fibers with a lot of glue, and then they put an imprinted laminated layer on the top of it.
So basically particle board, which is I guess why a lot of people put in basements, right?
It's cheap, it's quick to install.
If you ruin a piece, it's easy to replace. If your kid smashes an iPhone through it, it's a lot cheaper to replace a floor than it is the iPhone.
Yeah, but it's essentially a piece of MDF, so it's weak. It chips easily. The finish comes off really easily. It's just not a quality product, and it should not be in the same conversation as engineered hardwood at all.
Absolutely not.
They're just not the same.
And a laminate is never a tongue and groove installation
It's
situation.
a click.
It's a click.
Yeah, so you're not gluing them down. You're not nailing them down. You click them together, and then they are designed to expand and contract. Right? You can't butt them up close against a wall when you install it because you have to assume that floor is going to expand. And there are ultimate dimensions that you can install a laminate floor, meaning you should generally have a break in between rooms because each of those floors needs to be able to expand and contract isolated from the other areas because otherwise you get buckling and all the rest of it. So
Very true. Not a lot of people know that.
no.
Okay, Dave. Well, with all that being said, when would you use each one of these compositions and which application?
Okay, so generally a solid hardwood by today's standards is going to be your mid-range product. So if you are okay with a smaller board and you want the real solid, the real deal product, solid hardwood's a great choice for main floor, second floor.
Stay away from basements.
Unless you're doing a proper subfloor, stay away from basements for sure. Engineered floor, love it everywhere pretty much. If you're going to have it, you could put it in a basement on top of a proper subfloor. Make sure you glue it down. It's just so much better. But yeah, its uses, especially if you have a good one with a high humidity range, you pretty much can do no wrong, but it is more of a premium product.
Yep.
And laminate, great for basements, just rooms that you don't really care about too much.
Kids' playrooms.
Yeah, if you know it's going to get destroyed, go with the laminate. Why not? It's quick, it's easy. You can probably do it yourself.
A good one's $2 a square foot.
$2-3 a square foot. Installation of it is super cheap.
Yep.
It's
really easy to do yourself as well.
Yeah, all you have to do is get an underlay, foam underlay, roll it out on the floor, and then click this thing on top of it.
Yep.
And all you're doing pretty much is making straight cuts for the most part.
So I guess that's it. That's our quick, my beer is almost done already. So guys, I hope you liked this one, found this one informative. So please like and subscribe to the page. Leave us some comments down below.
Smash the like button.
Yes, smash the like button. Smash it. You can find us on the internet at www.pewter.build. Our Instagram is pewter.build. Our Twitter is pewter.build. We don't use Twitter, but we definitely use Instagram. So check us out online. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and we'll try to answer them. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.